Good morning, boys and girls. So, beginning the steering rack swap. First thing we're going to do is get as much fluid out of the pump as possible. I just have my little Harbor Freight vacuum thing. It's actually for brakes, but it works well for other stuff too. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so that's drained. I've seen on some videos where, let's see, well, you can't really see it from here. There's one, I'll try to point it out. There's a connection down here on the hard line that you can disconnect, but I've also read that you can just disconnect the pressure and return lines from the pump and pull it out that way. And when I went and got the steering rack from the junkyard, that's what I did, and it's a lot easier than having to fool with line wrenches and stuff way down in there. So I'm just going to do it the same as I got it from the junkyard. Okay, so when you get that done, it should look like this. This is a 14 millimeter, that's your pressure line. It's a neat little crush washer. Pretty cool. It's better than fooling with two of them that are just going to go falling all over the place. You have to excuse me, I'm trying to be quiet because the girlfriend's upstairs asleep. There are also two 10 millimeter bolts that secure these lines. There's one here, and then the second one's back here. Now, I don't know if this is factory or not, but the first one I took out's the one here on the bottom. It's got a little bit of a neck before the threads start, and the second one is just a standard 10 millimeter bolt. But now that we have our lines loose, once I start taking the rack out from the car, I can just snake this down through the hole where they all go. So next step, I gotta secure the steering wheel and get the tie rods and everything loose, and I'll be back. Alright, so to get the tie rod off, there's a cotter pin there. You'll fold back over, pull out, and then take that castle nut off, and you should be able to just pop them out. Let's see. There's a bolt. Can't get a good picture of it here. That U-joint holds the shaft on the top of the steering rack. There's a bolt you got to take out. You want to make sure you know exactly where it's coming out and where it's going back into. Some people make a mark, but since I pulled mine out of a junkyard and this U-joint is clocked differently than the car I took it out of, I'm just going to have to wing it and make sure the rack I'm putting in is equal on both sides, exactly straight. And secured the steering wheel with a pull strap. It isn't ideal, but it should do what I need it to. And I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So, the cotter pins in these put up a real good fight. And I finally got them. Went ahead and took the bolt out of the U-joint, which you can't see because I don't have my light in the right place. A few other things you're going to have to do, which I've already done the other day. Had to remove the exhaust and front sway bar, and that's pretty self-explanatory. So what happens next, now that everything else is removed, we have to take these two 14mm bolts out, and those two as well. So I'll be right back. Alright, so rack's out. Took the hard lines and weaseled them down into there. They went through that hole right down there. So had a little bit of trouble getting the actual steering gear out of the coupler up there above this cross member. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Kind of a messy job when it's leaking. But so there's the old crappy one, and there's another. I don't know if it's been rebuilt or if it's a reman. The car I pulled it out of was extremely rusted out, but this looks pretty new, so it can't be that old. But installation at a later date.